Okay, level 2's objective 21 is about circles. So area and perimeter of circles. First things, we have to define what the area of a circle is and make sure that we're all on the same page with that. And then I want to also define what the diameter is as well. Or I'm sorry, not what the diameter, but what the circumference is and how to find it. Okay, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. Now, circumference you can find in a couple different ways. I'm going to write circumference in terms of diameter. So I'm going to take pi times diameter. Some of you have also heard about a 2 pi r. The reason why I'm not going to refer to that is because I have a little trick to remember these. So for the area and the circumference. So circumference, I like to say that cherry pie, so there's your C, pie is delicious. So the C represents circumference, the pi is pi, obviously, and then the D represents diameter. And then to remember area, you say, well, apple pie, apple meaning area, pie is pie, apple pies are 2. So cherry pie is delicious, so circumference equals pi times diameter, and then apple pies are 2 is area equals pi r squared. So if that sticks with you, go with it. If it doesn't, you can just fast forward the last 45 seconds. Okay, so and to make sure that we're also on the same page between a radius and a diameter, a radius is going to go from the center to the outside point. All radii are congruent. And then a diameter is going to basically be 2 radii put together. So it goes through the center of the circle and it connects one point to the other. So 2r will equal 1d, or 1/2 d will equal r. Okay, so a couple different ways that you can think about that. Okay, now that we've got that taken care of, let's take a look at example number 1. It says find the exact area of a circle with a diameter of 8 root 2. So I will always draw a picture just because that's who I am. If that's not you, don't do it. But if you are struggling, I offer that suggestion to you. So I have 8 root 2 centimeters, that's my diameter, and I need to find the area. So I know area is equal to apple pies are 2, so pi r squared, and then to find the radius, I need half the diameter. So remember, if you have 8 root 2 and you divide that by 2, those numbers on the outside are the only ones that you can simplify. So this would be 4 root 2. So if I substitute that in, always put it in parentheses, otherwise you will do bad math and break it and forget to distribute this 2 to the 4 and the root. So I'm going to have pi, this is going to be 16, 4 squared is 16, and then square root of 2 times the square root of 2 equals the square root of 4, and I know that is just a plain old 2. So then my final answer is going to be 32 pi. That's the exact form. If I go ahead and put this in my calculator, 32 pi, I'm going to get the approximate form. And that's going to be about 100.53. So, and this is centimeters squared. So just make sure that you're following the directions. If it asks for exact, you're going to leave pi in your answer. If it doesn't ask for it in exact, then go ahead and round to, let's go 2 decimal places for everything. Okay, now let's moving on to number 2. And one more thing, if it doesn't say what it is, I think it's a good habit for you to leave it in exact form. You'll use that more often than the approximate. Okay, number 2, if the area of a circle is 80 pi millimeters squared, find the circumference. So, okay, I know that the area equals 80 pi, and then I want to find the circumference. So in order to find the circumference, I know cherry pies are delicious, so that equals pi times diameter. So I need to somehow find the diameter or find the radius because I know those two are related. So if I go back to my area, I know that apple pies are 2. and that's going to equal 80 pi. So now I'm just going to go ahead and solve for r, and that way it'll get me to this d that I'm trying to find out for the circumference. If I divide both sides by pi, both pi's will cancel out. I'm just left with r squared equals 80. And then I'm going to go ahead and square root both sides. So r squared equals the square root of 80, and I do have to simplify that. So let's go 8 and 10, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 2. So that'll be 1, 2, so 4 root 5 is my radius. And then to get it to be my diameter, I'm going to multiply this by 2. Remember, you only multiply the numbers outside the radical together to be 8 root 5. So this equals my diameter. And then all I'm going to do now is substitute this in for this d here. So circumference is going to equal, in exact form, 8 pi root 5. Okay, we typically want to put the numbers or coefficients together so the 8 pi will come before the root. It's not wrong if you put it afterwards, it's just a better notation to put it beforehand. All right. Number 3, it says given angle B is 2x squared and angle C is 5x plus 12, determine the values of x. So here's just something that we need to be cognizant of as we're looking through these circles and figuring out what they mean. If I look at the circle, anytime you have a triangle within a circle, it's always going to be isosceles, and here's why. AB is a radius and AC is a radius. But all radii in a circle are always going to be congruent no matter where they are drawn. And if you create that triangle with the 2 points on the circle, B and C, you've created an isosceles triangle. Now, it's not always a right triangle. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But in this case, since it doesn't say it, I don't know it. So now what I'm going to do, since this is isosceles, I know that the angles that are opposite from it are going to be congruent. So B and C are equal. Going back to my problem, I have measurements for B and C, so I'm going to set those equal to each other. Well, how do I solve this? I have an x squared and an x and a number. Am I going to square root everything? No, the Miss Mullane will be mad. Should I divide by 2? No, because 5 isn't divisible by 2. Should I guess and look at the answer sheet and just write the answer down? No, because that's not doing anything for you. Should I get everything equal to 0? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and bring everything over. So I have 2x squared minus 5x, and then I'll subtract the 12 as well. So now I'm left with 0. Now what should I do? Should I square root? No. Should I square? No. Should I factor? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and factor. So I'm going to have 2x and x. And let's see, factors of 12. I could do 2 and 6, 4 and 3, or 12 and 1. I'm going to start with that 4 and 3. I need to get to negative 5. So I think if I do negative 4, because I'll multiply that with the 2 to get me negative 8, and then a positive 3. So I've got my factors that will all work out. Now I'm going to set them equal to 0. So 2x plus 3 equals 0. So if I keep on solving this will equal negative 1.5. And then this one will equal 4. So let's make sure both of those answers work before I finalize my answer. If I put the negative 1.5 in for angle B, when I square it, it'll become positive, so that's fine, but let's check for angle C. If I put, whoops, not negative 5. If I put negative 1.5, man, I can write today. Plus 12, this is still going to give me a positive answer. So 1.5 will work as well as 4. 4 will work as well, so both of these answers are solutions to the problem. So factoring is going to come back and haunt you. So if you don't know how to factor, let me know. I will print you out a practice factoring sheet, and because it's not going to go away. It will come back next year, and you need to be good at it. So get better at it. Good luck.